Hey everybody, it's time to do some Dota. Alright, so, right here, finally, I actually get to cast a game for the Hive Cup. Yesterday we had a little bit of a mix-up, and Dignitas's foes for last night did not show and ended up losing their match on a disqualification. So, kind of unfortunate, but we did end up, well, yeah, I kind of just screwed around on my stream for a little while, and then the stream just died, like I lost the internet or something, and it's just a terrible night of streaming. So hopefully tonight is a bit of a redeeming grace, and this game will get underway nice and smooth, and we'll be able to have a lot of fun here. So, getting underway, both these teams not using their actual team names on the titles, so this is really going to bug the hell out of me. Yeah, No Nature's Prophet and Tryhard Gaming. This is going to, like, straight up confuse the hell out of me. These two teams are Standards Gaming and P252. I believe P252 is Tryhard Dota, and Standards Gaming is No Nature's Prophet. So I will try to keep those names in check. I have a feeling at some point I'm going to get those screwed up and go backwards, and I really wish to just use that friggin' use the proper things. But you know what? We don't live in a perfect world, and whatever. It's time to go. It's time to go. So getting into the draft here, we've got a Nature's Prophet and an Ember Spirit ban right off the bat here. So they've taken those out of the pool, making sure that nobody else can grab those up. Actually, let me just change something here. There we go. Open mic threshold. I do believe we will have spectators and clients, so just making sure that all my settings are set up. So, alright, so back to the draft. Everything looking pretty standard right off the bat. Nature's Prophet, the only one that I don't think is entirely within standard meta bans, but of course they are sticking true to their team name, No Nature's Prophet, which I think is actually a little bit better, and a little bit better than the old No Tidehunter, because Tidehunter was never that big a threat. I mean, Tidehunter was popular back then when they made that team, but yeah. Anyways, so keeping Nature's Prophet out of the pool. I like that. Say No Nature's Prophet, they're sticking to it. Anyway, so getting into the draft here, we've got first pick coming up, and they dipped into the reserve time about 6 seconds there, but they do settle on a Crystal Maiden after spending a little bit of time there deciding what they're going to go for, and so they do have the Crystal Maiden. I'm on the fence about Crystal Maiden. She's definitely a great hero, but I friggin' hate playing her. Like I was watching the Asus RG Dream League today, and they had an interview with Aoi2000 AOI. And his comment on Crystal Maiden, they were like, "Oh, I friggin' hate that hero." And they're like, "Why? She's so good." And he's like, "Yeah, I know why she's good. I just hate her." And I mean, that is my sentiment towards her exactly. I cannot play this hero for the life of me. But I love picking her because she's great. She's just, oh god, I can't do it. I can't do it. So anyways, Mirana Visage picked up by Tryhard Dota, aka P252. So they got a lot of damage out already, and I'm curious to see. This Mirana's probably going to be going mid. Generally, if you want to put a Mirana on a tri-lane, you want to set her up with some sort of stun or immobilizing spell, such as a Disruption or a Nightmare. But, you know what, the Visage, he only really has the slow, so you're not really setting Mirana up for arrows. Instead, basically what you're just going to be doing is, I mean, you're not going to be, there's not synergy there. So I think Mirana's going to be heading towards a mid-roll or even an off-lane. Now, we're waiting to see what No Nature's Prophet or Standards Gaming is going to pick up here. They've spent a little bit of time deciding, and, you know, they're cutting into their reserve time a bit. And usually this isn't a factor in drafts, but occasionally if you spend enough time kind of wasting into your reserve time, you get to the last couple picks and you end up rushed. And I always like to be able to have that, like, little bit of extra time for that final pick, just to, you know, think about your lineups, talk with your team, and really sure up any counter picks that you need to make. And, you know, that might not be an option for them this game, as they've already burned through a full minute of bonus time. Now, the Darkseer is going to be picked up by them, so this is a little bit of an odd draft already, but, you know, it kind of seems like a pocket strat in that we might be seeing some other things coming into play here. Perhaps something like a, you know, you could even be seeing a Sven here. Vacuum and Sven stun is really good. Alchemist stun is also very good. You can have any AoE ulti, Black Hole, RP, you know, that guy, Tree Protector's ultimate. I can't remember. Overgrowth. I mean, you could have Ravage. You could have anything comboed with that. And Darkseer isn't picked up very much anymore. So I have a feeling that the reason that he is being picked up is for a strategy like this. So it's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Disruptor is also another great hero for that. Now, getting into the bans here, we've got a Luna and a Shadow Shaman taken out right off the bat, and, well, not right off the bat, after a couple seconds of deliberation, they get rid of those heroes, and the Lone Druid is taken out by No Nature's Prophet as well, so, really just kind of negate the push, not feeling they have the means to deal with it, getting rid of that Lone Druid, Shadow Shaman, Nature's Prophet, and the Death Prophet, so all of those heroes are just meant for, like, beating down towers, and, you know, the way they're drafting and the way they're picking almost makes me think that they're going to be going for something like an anti-mage or something that just farms really, really hard and abuses the fact that his lanes are held out for him. And you know, we might be seeing that. And if they do go for that, they'll want to be picking up a couple more things that can hold out lanes, something like a Coddle for an additional support, and then on mid, something maybe like a Puck or who else would be a good hero for that, like a Shadow Fiend or something like that. Just a hero that can really just hold out creep waves and push towers back. Invoker would have been a good one as well, but of course he is banned out there by Tryhard Dota. Getting into this one, Bane is picked up by Tryhard, so now that I'm looking at this, I think it might actually be a Tri-Lane Mirana. It's definitely a possibility, seeing as he's got that Nightmare available to him. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Huh. Alright, so yeah, the Nightmare into Arrow, Soul Assumption, that's a huge amount of damage, and I mean, there's not any hero that can really survive that, especially the Darkseer. I mean, Darkseer's biggest strength is in his ability to run away. If he can't run away, he's pretty much screwed, so I think Tryhard's going to have a great time with this Tri-Lane. However, it's going to be on them to make sure that they have a lineup that can really push their advantage in the mid to late game, because Mirana doesn't do that incredibly well. Unless she really, really thrives in lane, she's going to crumble to pretty much any other carry in the game in the mid game. I mean, she can get she can do well if she lands a good arrow or positions herself well, but I mean, one-on-one, pound for pound, she doesn't beat Antimage, she doesn't beat Luna, she doesn't beat Nyx, she doesn't beat Alchemist, she doesn't beat Gyrocopter, she doesn't beat you know, Clinks, anyone really. She's got to you know, she's got to get those arrows, she's got to get that positioning, and then she's got to get ahead in the early game to make sure that her late game is significant in any way whatsoever. Now, the Abaddon is picked up by No Nature's Prophet, and this is a fantastic counter pick to this strategy. I absolutely love it. You throw that Aphotic Shield on anybody who's either been arrowed or been nightmared, and it purges it completely and gives them free roam. So the key to beating out this Tri-Lane, or to beating out the Abaddon, is going to be making sure that he is the target, which introduces a lot of room for Crystal Maiden and whoever else is down in that lane to you know, make other moves and maneuver around it. And of course, I mean, somebody can always just break the Nightmare off of the Abaddon and he can turn around and Aphotic Shield them. So he's fantastic on that role, and I really, really like it.
Reserve time.
Now, the Storm Spear was picked up by Tryhard, so they've got a pretty squishy lineup, all told. The Visage is kind of tanky in and of himself, but everybody else gets blown up pretty easily. But that is provided that they are held in place. The Mirana can, of course, leap away from pretty much anything. The Bane can defensively Nightmare himself or an enemy who's coming towards him. Yeah, and I mean, he's also got the Brain Sap to keep him alive. The Storm Spirit, of course, we all know what Storm Spirit does. Zip zop, zippity bop. He's all over the place. So I think No Nature's Prophet is going to suffer from the fact that they don't have a lot of hard lockdown. They've got the Frostbite on the Crystal Maiden, and they've got the Dream Coil on the Puck, and the Silence as well on Puck, which will serve them well. I mean, that was what that pick was meant to do. But it is still not a lot of stun. It's not a lot of lockdown. It's not hard CC that's going to keep anybody, you know, pinned in position. And, you know, at a stage like this, I'd almost like to see an Earthshaker with, say, like a carry Abaddon or something like that. Get a hero with just lots of stuns. And, I mean, it doesn't have to be Earthshaker. It can be anything else, but I say Earthshaker because he's probably the best at that role. Even like a Jakiro or a Sand King or, you know, a carry with a lot of stuff. Like you can even go Spirit Breaker or something. Just something that can really guarantee your ability to lock down the enemy, because they really don't have that right now, and I think Triard Dota or P252 is going to be running circles around him. Now, the Lifestealer banned out. It's kind of interesting that they banned out the Lifestealer themselves. It would be a decent pick for No Nature's Prophet, but on them it would actually be really, really good. Because basically what you could do here is you could send this as an aggressive tri-lane, and then send this Lifestealer to the solo safe lane. And in the safe lane on his own, he would be fine. Now, they're going to put a Drow Ranger up there instead, but the Nikes would have worked really well with the Storm Spirit in the late game, and he would have gotten pretty much free farm because Lifestealer wins almost all 1v1 lanes he's in. I mean, there's a few heroes that can pick him apart, but for the most part, just because of the fact that if anybody gets up in his face, he can just open wounds him and chase him down. He's usually pretty good. The Gyro was banned out by Standards Gaming, and got their last pickup to decide on here. Now, I'm still curious to see what it's going to be. They've got a lot of things that need to be addressed in their lineup, and I think, actually, now that I look at it, I think a Faceless Void is actually a great idea. They've got what it takes to keep him alive and keep him well. They got the shields on the Abaddon and whatnot, and I mean, when he gets into the middle of a fight, he can throw down that Chronosphere, get an Ion Shell on him, and just start beating down all these squishy heroes, and they can't do anything about it. And they're going to go for a Morphling. I like this as well. Morphling is one of my new favorite heroes. Actually, he was one of my old favorite heroes, and then he was one of my least favorite heroes, and now he's one of my favorite heroes again. He was one of the first heroes I learned when I started playing Dota, and so I just played the hell out of him for like 500 games. Yeah, he was my bro for a while, and then they gave him that huge nerf where he was like, it was just so rough, and I noticed it when I played. It just felt like my performance dropped. I was like, Morphling, screw this guy, right? So I kind of stopped playing him for a while, but I've just recently started picking him back up when the meta shifted and he became flavor of the month for everybody again. I was like, give Morphling another shot, and I started playing him, and I love him. Such a good hero now, and so strong. And what he really needs, though, is that space to farm, so looks like he's going to need that. Now, he hasn't gotten any points in yet. Usually, if you're playing Morphling, you'll grab a point in your agility/strength gain right off the bat, and then morph yourself some agility so you have good last hitting power, because his level 1 damage is not that much. With 3 branches up right now, he's only got 44 damage, which is, I mean, most heroes base naked damage. Like, look at this, 1 branch on Marana, she's at 47, so, oh wait, no, she got the Slippers of Agility, never mind. I'm not smart. Now, anyways, they are going to find each other in this bottom lane here. Didn't get a chance to introduce the teams, but they got off to the right up in each other's face right off the bat. Now, this is interesting. They're dropping a Sentry Ward with their Observer Ward right off the bat, and not sure if that was completely necessary, but this Observer Ward will be blocking both this hard camp and this medium camp here. So this tri-lane may actually suffer quite a bit because of it, but as I said, okay, no, it's going to be a solo safe Storm and Drow on mid lane. Yeah, those 2 roles were pretty interchangeable. Just depended kind of what they wanted up against what, and I think the Drow against the Puck is a little bit better of a matchup for them. So Drow and Puck will be the mid lane. On the top, we will have the Darkseer up against the Storm Spirit, and Storm will have a much easier time with this lane. I don't think he's going to run into any problems. I mean, he's just going to be able to Remnant and overcharge down every single creep that has an Ion Shell on it, and Darkseer's not going to get too much out of this. But this bottom lane is going to be what we want to watch here, as the Nightmare Arrow combo is what we're going to be watching for this entire game. But Abaddon can deflect that very nicely, and it's really going to be on him to make sure that he drops those shields where he needs to. Ward was just dropped here. This is a Dire Ward, and I think Crystal Maiden saw that, but there are no sentries on either of these heroes present to get rid of it now. What the? Oh, okay. Where's their other ward? Oh, it's up there. It's up top. Looking to see where they dropped their other ward. It's, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. There we go. Okay, that wasn't that terrible. I just forgot my draft overlay up. My bad, guys. I do this so often, it's just not even funny. Oh man, that's why I need to stop using draft overlays. Don't add as much. But yeah. There's Morphling, looking hard to get his last hits up, but he's only got his 1 right now, and the Marauder is doing a little bit better at 3. Now this is the problem with Morphling. I mean, he's a hero that definitely needs great early game farm to really take off. He operates a little bit like a Weaver in his item build because he likes to go for those Lincoln Spheres for those mana and health regen items, and not necessarily become beefy, but just get a lot of stats up. And we do see a Nightmare out on the Abaddon. Arrow's going to connect, but it only connects from about half range, so I think he's going to spawn. No! He's not going to spawn, he's going to get out of that stun, but that was not the case, and Abaddon is the first blood, so like I said there, he is the problem with that counter. Well, that is the problem with the counter pick, is that he can only shield other people. He can't shield himself if he's stunned, so he can end up in a lot of trouble. However, if No Nature's Prophet, or P252, was playing it properly, the Morphling should have been able to break that Nightmare by attacking his ally, and the Abaddon would have walked out of that and then aphotic shielded the Morphling. So that's kind of how it should have played out. Unfortunately, it didn't, and the Abaddon did end up getting caught out. So this aggressive tri-lane going to work early, and they're doing what they need to. Now this Crystal Maiden knows that this camp isn't spawning, and she hasn't. Yeah, she can't. She's gonna go mid and see if she can get a gank off here. Fucking Dragon, and a little bit of a scuffle here. The top lane, yeah, Darkseer staying pretty far back, only coming forward to pick up a couple creeps, but yeah, there's that overcharge, or that Remnant Overload auto attack I was talking about. It just drops down those Ion Shell creeps, just finishes them off, and I mean, they can't offer that much harass. But Storm did not start with... Oh, actually, he started with 2 stacks of Tangos, so he's got a little more regen than I expected him to, but he'll be doing alright. Nightmare goes out on the Morphling. What are you doing, man? Shield! Shield! Okay, no arrow. No arrow to follow up. Morphling does eat a lot of damage. He should have waited for him a little earlier there. He could have gotten out of that a little bit better off than he did. But he did eat a lot of damage, got out alive, and he will survive for now. I'm curious. I'm curious.
Denied.
Now, Nightmare goes out again. They're looking for it. Aphotic Shield Man, what are you doing? They missed. They missed. Oh, jeez. Okay. This is some poor play down here. This shield needs to go on. I don't know if the Abaddon realizes that his shield will purge Nightmare. That is the selling point of picking Abaddon against this lineup, is that you can just break the Nightmare entirely. And I mean, I think he's kind of waiting for the shield, or for the arrow to hit first, so that he can negate that stun. But if you break it on Morphling, he can just waveform away. Now, another interesting interaction about this bottom lane that I failed to mention earlier is that Morphling can begin strength and agility gaining through, I believe, both Nightmare and the arrow stun. So if he is stunned or otherwise disabled, he can turn on strength gain and start gaining a massive amount of health. And so if he gets caught out, if he's on his own or something, and he does get eaten up, he can pretty much guarantee himself survival through that. Now, I'm throwing out a heal as they exchange a little bit of damage there. But in the mid lane, the Smoke Gang came out, and Drow manages to pick up a double kill, gets the puck first, and then manages to grab the Crystal Maiden afterwards, surviving with just a fraction of her health. But you know, it's enough for now. That's going to mean trouble all across the board. Right now, the top 3 farmers in the game are all on the side of THD. That is, of course, Standards Gaming. And, actually... Oh, is that Standards Gaming? I don't know anymore, man. No, Standards is No Nature's Prophet. See, I told you I would get it screwed up, and I did already. There it goes. So, Standards is No Nature's Prophet, and P252 is THD. So... yeah, P252, they get themselves a early start, and they do have a farming advantage. Now, the Darkseer is getting himself a little bit further up there, but for a second there, the top 3 farmers were all on the dire side, and that can cause huge problems now. An arrow's going to fly forward, and it catches out the Abaddon. Brain Sap going out, and they manage to drop the man on the horse, but the Morphling, with that waveform, takes a huge chunk of life out of both those heroes and does get the first kill on his team up against that Mirana. So definitely needed that there, and it'll help out his lane a little bit, but I think for now they just need to continue to play this. Well, they need to play this a little bit better. The Crystal Maiden needs to remain in the lane for now, seeing as it is aggressive. She doesn't really have the room to gank, and of course that didn't work too well when she got up on that Drow. Should have worked a little better, but I mean, when you're up against an aggressive lane like this, you can't afford to leave it. I mean, the enemy supports are so heavily invested into the lane, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be either, or else you're just going to lose it out. And you saw how badly Morphling was being pressured down there. He's only got 9 last hits right now to Mirana's 25. What? What? Oh, Visage getting top. Visage getting top? Man, I'm off the game today. I am out of it, but yeah. Visage manages to grab a kill on that Darkseer, and so once again, top 3 farmers on the dire side, and they're playing out this laning phase really well. 5-1 right now, so they're doing themselves a massive amount of work, just really taking care of things. And you know, I don't know if No Nation's Prophet or Standards Gaming does have the lineup to really pull this back. Morphling is a really hard carry, but can he deal with a Storm, a Drow, and a Mirana in the late game? I'm not entirely sure, and you know, it is going to be mainly on him, because Abaddon, I mean, he could get like a Sanjay Yasha or something like that if he wanted, but he's not going to be carrying too hard himself. I mean, a good vac wall into, I mean, a good wall vacuum might make a fight out of it, but I think Morphling really has to be the hero to come online in the mid game to make anything happen for the Standards Gaming team. Crystal Maiden is coming in here looking for some action. She quickly decides against it though and just walks back away. She could have thrown out a Frostbite or something, but decided not to. Now Morphling is getting poked down quite a bit here, and he does actually waveform off into the trees. A little bit worried that an arrow might fly after him, and gets himself out for now. But what's he saving up for? He's got 1,600 gold in the bank. He should have some items brought out to him. Even if it is just power treads or something like that, he could really use it. Mid lane now. Puck finding herself in trouble. Drow chasing it up with those frost arrows, and oh man, Puck will avoid it with a phase shift. TP coming in, but being cancelled right off the bat, and Puck escapes for now. Meanwhile, Storm grabs another kill on the Darkseer. He does have Ball Lightning, so he's able to jump forward. And oh my god, I'm trying to catch up with other kills, and I'm missing other ones. Oh boy, I need to be more observant. Not following this. Anyways. Morphling and Darkseer both drops. We're looking at a 7-1 kill score right now, 9 minutes and 30 seconds into this game, and THD, P252 really taking off with this early on, and this is what they meant to do with this aggressive tri-lane, and I really don't think it should have gone like this. This Abaddon should have gotten this Morphling out of a lot worse position, but the arrow's going to hit up on him, and with a Illusory Orb coming in, they might be able to pick off this Mirana. They do with the Mistcoil, now chasing up onto the Bane. The Dream Coil goes down. Chasing him up, and Mistcoil, Dream Coil, boom, and the Abaddon snags himself a double kill, but I think in that position, the Bane wasn't escaping. You should have actually left it for the Morphling, because he's pretty far behind, and he really needs it. I know, this Morphling hasn't actually morphed any points all game long. I'd like to see him morph a little bit left and right with some of his excess mana, but you know, either way. Mid lane. Got pings out and a smoke gank coming out from the Visage and the Drow Ranger. Visage doing, or a Drow doing really well right now. Sitting on a Midas and a Morbid Mask. So we'll see if she goes for a, are they going to Roche? They're going for a really early Roche, but they can definitely do it. You get that Grave Chill out on the Roshan, and with the arrow from the Mirana, they're going to be able to dish out a ton of damage to this really fast with that medallion on the Visage. I really like this. It's smart. And Visage going to back himself up, let Drow tank it a little bit, and then salve himself up, and then he'll tank it back in a moment. Meanwhile, they're just going to continue Grave Chilling and Medallioning it, and look at this. Both heroes at pretty much full health, and Roshan almost dead. Wow, this is so sneaky, and I absolutely love it. Roshan follows Drow Ranger, gets the Aegis, and Look at this. 11 minutes in. We're looking at 10 kills on the board and a Roshan snatched up by P252 THD. This is nuts. Now, Nightmare comes out on this Morphling. Arrow gets thrown, and they're going for this. The Starfall dishing out a lot of damage, and they're going to go with a Fiend's Grip on this. He could be strength gaining through all of this. He does manage to escape, but could have been a lot better off there. The Bane is going to fall. Darkseer did fall in the top lane to the Storm Spirit again. Now the Mirana chasing down this Abaddon. One final auto attack will fly and finishes him off. Now the Visage walk himself out again, and they're pinging out that the Mirana is there. She is now visible. Throws an arrow. Not going to hit. Puck's going to find the Mirana, but I don't know if he can fight this up. The Crystal Maiden is coming in. They do get a Frostbite out. She's going to leap back, and she'll be fine for now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Radiant's middle tower falls to Drow, and she is just off to a huge start. Look at this. 60 CS at 12 minutes. Hand of Midas. Aegis the Immortal. I mean, 2 kills. She's just off to the races right now. Storm Spirit doing really well for himself as well. Actually has 87 CS, so sitting a lot further ahead. Has a full Orchid already. And has 2 kills and an assist to his name, so he's just taken off. It is going to be so hard to deal with a Storm Spirit. I mean, I can't think of any way that Standards Gaming is really going to be able to deal with this. It's rough. I mean, the best thing that you can hope for is that your Crystal Maiden gets a really good Frostbite, and then it's followed up by like a Silence by Puck, and your entire team is there to do enough damage to finish him off, because he's just going to be able to jump out of anything else. So. Definitely looking like an ugly scenario, but we'll see if they can pull it back. Like I said, Morphling does carry into the late game really well, but it'll be on him how well he carries. Now the Puck is going in, trying to initiate this. Only gets a Dream Coil on one. Phase shift away, trying to escape, and oh my god, with one final auto attack and a Soul Assumption, Puck does get finished off. Now Drow's standing her ground trying to fight this up, but I think she's going to get caught out there. Arrow wall, and the Aegis of the Immortal gets popped off. The Puck is dead. And Drow going to try to run herself out of this. They're chasing her up pretty well. No points in Curse of Avernus to slow her down, but with the support from her teammate, I think they'll get out of this alright. She's popping off that Mask of Madness and turning around to dish out whatever damage she can. And oh my god, all these heroes so low. Oh man, the Drow turns it back around, finishes off the Crystal Maiden as she's running away. Storm Spirit jumping in on the back line, looking to see what he can make happen here. He's looking for it, maybe? No, it's not going to go. What a fight, what a fight. Storm Spirit is spotted out by a creep here, so he's not as safe as he might like to think he is, but could make something happen regardless. Silence is up at Puck. Puck gets dropped in through the trees. Heatball Lightning's through, and with one attack, it will pop off the shield. Abaddon saves the Puck's life. Now, Fiend's Grip out on the Abaddon, drops him in a matter of seconds in the Storm Spirit. Oof, man, this guy is ugly. This is ugly. Now looking for the Puck. She gets dropped, and oh, is Storm going to survive? He is, he is. Whew. 4-13, and THD P252 really taken off with this game early, and I definitely like their draft a lot. You know, No Nation's Prophet, they picked some interesting things. Like I think the Darkseer, he could have been replaced with a much better hero. You know, generally, like I was saying in the draft, if you pick up that Darkseer, generally it is because you want to make a lot of AoE happen, whether that's picking up a Warlock or a Tide Hunter or a Magnus or an Enigma or something along those lines. You want to make team fights happen in your favor. But a lot of these heroes are not that team fight oriented. I mean, Crystal Maiden is great in team fights because of Freezing Field, but early game, it's not often that Morphling! Oh, Morph Strength, dude! You can get out of anything with Strength gain. He is cut out there, finished off, and I think Drow secured that kill. Oh, Miranda didn't get the kill on that. Okay. But, yeah. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I think, I mean, Crystal Maiden, like I was saying, she's not that great a teamfight hero. Like, Freezing Field is great, but for the most part, your abilities have a reasonably long cooldown and cost you a little bit of mana. So, oof. She was picked off in the jungle there. This is just coming apart at the seams. P252 just really pushing their advantage, and with this Mask of Madness on Drow, she's just doing work. Blink Dagger as well to make sure that she can keep up to all the fights across the map, and she's doing a good job at it now. They're taking this tier 2 tower by storm, and there are going to be TPs in to defend it, but I mean, look at this, over 1,000 points of damage done to the tower in a matter of only a couple seconds. up on top. Storm Spirit Invis gonna jump onto that Darkseer, silences him off, finishes him off, and the Fiend's Grip goes out on Morphling. Dude, you can strength gain. Oh man, okay. This is really unfortunate because I feel like a lot of the heroes on or a lot of the players on No Nature's Prophet or Standards Gaming just aren't using their heroes to their best of their ability. I mean, oh, Storm jumping in, picks up a kill on the puck. Storm dropping really low, actually. He's pretty close to falling. Is he going to be able to get out? Tries some ball lightning over the wall. Not going to happen, and the tower will finish him off. That's a lot of damage getting splashed out to all the assists, but that was a full 5-man wipe. Every single hero on Standards Gaming dropping, and pressure coming in on the tier 3s. And like I said, I feel like a lot of these players just kind of don't know their heroes that well, and I mean, it could just be that P252 is just really good, but it's, I don't know, like that Morphling could be strength gaining out of all of these scenarios. I mean, every time he's Fiend's Gripped, every time he's Nightmared, every time he's arrowed, every time he's being attacked by that Drow, he can just turn on strength gain, and he gets an extra 300 to 400 health in a few seconds that could make the difference in his escape. Same thing with Abaddon. He could have been aphotic shielding all of those nightmares, all of those arrows, and I don't think I've seen him actually break a nightmare all game long. It's really, really unfortunate because I feel like they had a good draft for holding out the laning phase and letting this Morphling get the farm he needed, but seeing as the aggressive tri-lane did so well, it just ended up making this draft crumble. And I mean, you can see it already. There's 4 heroes down on the Radiant side. Not a single one dropped on the Dire. There's been a Roshan taken already, and they're 15 kills up. This is all at 18 minutes into this game. This is pretty absurd. Storm Spirit off to the races. 8-1 and 3. He's just going absurd. Pinging out the Roche. That will not be up for another minute to 4 minutes. I believe that's it. Yeah. We'll see what the randomized timer is in just a moment here. And Storm zipping in, gonna find himself a Crystal Maiden, which he'll pursue on after that Frostbite wears off, and there he goes. The kill was actually picked up by Marana, but Storm doing all the work. Marana just being a greedy kill securer. Now Storm, oh my god, ball lightning really far in, grabs up the puck and finishes her off in a matter of moments. Just nothing. I mean, when a Storm is this fat, it's really, really hard to do anything. You can't move across the map. And, I mean, if you do, you're pretty much going to get jumped on. Even if you're 5, you're going to get jumped on. And, this is just looking pretty bad. Things looking grim. Things looking grim. And, I mean, I'd like to make suggestions as to what could happen, what could be changed, what could be played differently. But, I mean, the way things are looking right now, I mean, you've got an out-of-control Storm Spirit, a puck that cannot escape that out-of-control Storm Spirit because of the Orchid. And you get a Morphling who has absolutely no farm and has just nothing but power treads to his name. The Darkseer gets picked off in the jungle trying to drop a ward and only manages to get his sentry down. Did he have an actual ward? Yeah, he had Observer wards to drop, and he didn't even manage to drop the Observers before he got picked off. Drow is just out of control as well. Sitting on a Maelstrom, Hand of Midas, Mask of Madness. Hand of Midas, Mask of Madness. Hand of Midas, Mask of Madness. And Blink Dagger as well, so I mean, they can try to hold out these lanes and wait for that one godlike team fight with the wall vacuum into Dream Coil, but I mean, even then, I don't know if they have the damage to really follow up all that control and make something out of it. I think the illusions would have to be doing most of the work, and that's not something you can really rely on. The Morphling up here trying to pull the wave back, but he accidentally cancels his own auto attack, and Drow will be finishing off this tower here. Visage actually gets the tower with the birds. Now, Fiend's Grip going out onto the puck, but it does get broken. Puck will escape this, but, oh man, the team getting caught out quite a bit. The Darkseer does fall. Arrow going to follow up. Hits on the Abaddon. The Dream Coil goes down on 2, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Abaddon and Puck both fall. Morphling on the backlines. Crystal Maiden trying to pop off that freezing field, but I think she's going to die. Yeah, there she goes. Morphling trying to fight it up, but not a good idea. He drops after a couple of attacks, and another full 5-man wipe. 23 kill advantage in a 20-minute game. And THD P252 is going to take this game, and GG's come out. So really fast, really hard-hitting game, and I think No Nature's Prophet Standards Gaming really had a couple of problems. And first of all, it was the execution on that tri-lane. The execution should have been a lot better. I mean, the way that tri-lane should have worked. You should have had the Abaddon, Aphotic shielding everything he possibly can. I mean, he never broke the Nightmare, and it resulted in 3, maybe even 4 kills down there. And Mirana got a little bit out of control, and it snowballed from there. And then the other 2 lanes were completely won solo. Like the Drow up against the Puck was just a great counter pick in general. Drow hits Puck really hard because even if she phase shifts something, you hit a silence and you get going with those frost arrows, and Puck literally can't get away from it. She just dies. And I mean, Storm against Darkseer was just a matter of waiting until level 6, and then Storm jumped, and there's nothing Darkseer can do from that point. He just gets beat out. So I think a complete outdraft from P252 here, as well as really good execution on that tri-lane, was what secured them this victory. So fantastic game there. I really enjoyed watching it, despite what a one-sided victory it was, but you know, it was fantastic. So I think this is the only game I've actually got for you guys tonight. Unfortunately, we had a team drop out of the Tactic Hive Beta Cup, which has meant that we are that I only get to cast 1 game a night during the round robins. Of course, the finals and or the semifinals and finals, which will be happening this weekend, will be going all day long, and so we'll have a whole slew of games for you guys then. Please check that out. If you'd like to know more about the Tactic Hive tournament, check out Tactic.Hive.com. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, Gamebox. I have been Cptn.Canuck. If you enjoyed my casting, please throw me a follow on my Twitch channel. You can also find me on YouTube at Cptn.Canuck Dota and Twitch at Cptn.Canuck Dota as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time.